I was for matching your mama kwaba from Brana, so no pay baby. I will be a memendano pa and 16th of May 2026. A Brana so any at night de bring. Yeah, she said you made the bro. Memenda anopano no tribo kwesi nundu beba. Ye jebret nase. Na afi Ghana ye democracy so say tumpo akọ nanim no. Baby a pese ye didru no. And the lapses kakre no. Ni ajebre ni atoto kama. Ye beda be sore nenka anopa bia Ghana. Kurumo e deche baby a nanka yenso ye prove record say yes. Oba Africa. Baby a gateway to Africa no Ghana. We are there. Tiano pay me watching na me kwaba. Yo 2 hours west solid I this sankitam di and so ebebro. Medini eje uswansa. Na akwanya na base ya anopay uti TV wa hwede na ya bobbo nsem no so na otwe mu bebre ko so. Edru sabre so ne so na yi kakra apenim before enso aka ho ne atena se. Na afi yetimi de nkomudi no enso so abreo. The various social media handles no so ba bia be share bia no obetimi e de onso comment no ato na nkomo ebekọ so ha no pay no yetimi edibi. Ye shas ye na se nkomo ho ebedi anope a they say emfa nse asemde na aba na asemde na aba na so say ebetime gina ho a na mpempenso edre sikasem na tuma gina na so egina na so na hu sampa afede yade ho IMF nhyehyɛ aikum no enra finance minister ene Ghana edi nkomo sempempenso a ekogina ye sikasem in fact Ghana ko junk economy baby an ye da na se apratete apansam enye ehọ na ne da abansesan ye ba yi na ye IMF nhyehyɛmu yetimi adi so measures bibia na ye se fa so na yetimi yi ehu firi mu na afi gina na so na yesikasem egina brand no enra finance minister edi ato yenim se ye do sam pempenso no enu nti ya kwa akoba ne se IMF program no kra no sisi ye de beto nchen na ye ni ankasa asoman ye gina na so na yetimi abo adwuma anope mepe ene no namabo eno de account na nya no nkwan so ye ka say na otwini mu somewhere last week be sabre ne kona ye hu ase no kre ase nya no kre ekoba say one of our MPs Asante Achim North MP yete say ya che no e Netherlands ya che ne say esisi kasem bi ho ni ade amfa ye well di ya che na ase no class enye no create na parliament e de krata to so Martin komoni bi o mati bi no mo checks e che sampa bibisa akoso nti no mo magana fo ate nti se Ghana fo bete sente e chiri na lawyer for DSC oho e besi same radio na say no cre ya chire no na reaction I free Asante Achim North ne constituency by na otwi mu ene ni before I okroma na say we ya akwakoto so mienu say bia Ghana mrahye bedwani bi ha kokyere no e nkrofo aman so aman be so a ebi de ye say no boni ebi de we so ye say fraud or romance scam whatever e kwakọ emini MPs no e wo immunity a o mo enjoy de enim se Ghana ha na wa brownam kwan so kwa adwuma asmrahye bedwani wa pon ban ye nkokyere no kwan so the process no utime fa so ansa na ebia obe engage an MP in a legal battle krana watumi aye nti we no na man for raise consensus but there will be man so ene kosiye anopay eno so the MPP as a party aye wadwene say okọ branch ahodo na branch no omo mpanifo a eso hwe no ye album on say politics no yes say enye event a process abato ne ho nsensem no nti ba bia ye hyase afri omo koye so omo ye branch album na miami ahodo ni bi ho a ebinom de injunction akwa akoto so baby otim say ye botuo mu bi ho a ye hwe nkrofo ani so ne ade ni nyina eye adekoro na ompeso mu ye no mpanifo party mpanifo gina ese ho eno so so say na otwi mu so no before na otwe no ebe wie na ensem ne bi SCA say the Bono regional chairman of the NPP Abronya Kwame DC ne judge bi ho nkomo the course no wie che na say chairman police no police chain no it was even an invitation first omo man bill police hono before the bill there be SCA court no yare man no for 2 solid weeks ebinum ebusa say brebe ne efa bi mrano fa bi an insult ana say ebi defamation whatever ebi say an offenses no nyina no bailable say bailable court enso ntimi remand ana bail ahodo e ho no e pepa remand everyone na remand eda so e wo ye mamranim judges ejina so enso timi didi asem mind you enye police na de obi akoto cell say be a chinchina of my bill but we a court and I remand it, which is also in our books enti anopay and so ho I beje brebe di hon komo Samson Ayeka say the NDC as a party declare a whole of this month long they celebrate June. Until you see June ma June bo so many day NDC as a party no on say June 4 near the whole of the month no June bo so me no the be see ho na fe celebration ahodo I course no and also sweat me so enti anopay sankoma we nyina ho I be this sankoma no say this sankoma we so a na ye kire wo say also wo input nti abrana so baby e da na de beto pepepe anopay mpanifo beka ho ansa na da obonkratam se na post no ma bie so kakra de ama metwa me ho aba me ba na afi abedwafo no before betena se no ye beko na finance minister prudent measures how they go ansa na ye free IMF any baby e de ani kire no ye bebo ni nyina so atumi de ama na afi nkomo no onso adwene the conversation metwa me ho aba sisi a ye beto aso ya abrana so
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Stay back and stay safe. National Petroleum Authority. Ebo bibia kokose. Se fuel tank enya kwenshia. Ne dania. Men ko ho nkwaye wadwen se. O kwosesa petrol anafango no. Ena afenso. Menye wadwen se wo ben fuel tank enya kwenshia ne ho. Akwa kodwetwa videos ana pictures. Na petrol anafango wo hwenso. Uhua ko wo mu a. Enye sunsu aso bone. Ewo apomden sem so. Fango nso eho ahometinti no. Enfom so akitu ebi ebetumi ameja tom amana gise wom. Eba ne sa nipa dodo timi femu hihye ehwe mo nkwa emeja pade dodo na nso esei aya fredum je adwumayefo ana posifo no mo mehwe nso ano wutumi nso efre National Petroleum Authority ewo 0302 550 380 kaise wonkwa wo hoi eho hia bebre esen sa fango no kokoboi National Petroleum Authority enede bro.
Hello Ghana, payday is here. Stand a chance to win instant cash prizes on Review Scratch for Win, up to 100,000 Ghana cedis to be won today. Get ready to play Review Scratch for Win to win big on TV XYZ. Stop scrolling and start winning. It's simple. Dial *850*6# on all networks. Choose your card type and select your lucky card for a chance to win big. Play with at least 5 Ghana cedis or more. You could win up to 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes instantly. Yes, you heard right. 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes. Don't miss out on the chance to win big. Dial *850*6# to play it now. Review Scratch for Win. Scratch it again. This is casting pound. You must be 18 years and above to play. Terms and conditions apply. This game is regulated and approved by the NMA and the Caritas Conference.
Welcome to Auto Check Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure. Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, Check. Visit AutoChecks at Koforidua Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks. Check.
AutoChecks. Your safety, our priority.
Check, auto checks. If I cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehinfa pa na menya bosia edi atre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi ye bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hwehwe ahodo bi te se dwadifo abosia, ekuokuro bosia, susu account. And it does all savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And then the keka home. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Now one so what to miaka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. Growing our heritage.
Ye na hwefo ase na ye mama kwa banto so ha no pay e abra na so memenda no pa hyehyehye ya tena se de bro before enkomo no pie ho ya hye ye de be ma na afi ya timi ate ho ase fi enkomo de ma na ye de bra wudi a wate ho ase nti ate ho ase na ye di enkomo na ye timi asi gina papa e wo ha no pay earlier me ka se ye be bo finance minister ni hyehyehye ya waye a we ye de free IMF no be bo ba before me onkomi bi hye ha e ho nya pa. Say your cap pension can how it told be a pension scheme, whatever scheme, but see a national pension regulatory authority. You say no, yeah, the breakers say, and then mudru no ya payum amane question. Jano pay, you know, bidding komoga. People still have issues when it comes to pension. But obeko be a technical error be akoso baby. And ya nanan mo mofi, one kwa mijino, a drew sabrian and komono. Of 50 pa. Afi yenso yesis wo ye adwuma. Ese etimi contribution. But obi o ha ofane se onya aban adwuma. Nti ono ana adwuma na wo ye no whether se otua so ana wontua wodi bi beto ana wo fa bi nto. Ano pay bedebre na afi ahwe ni nyina. Ni abusa se jiso bi abosumi adwuma. Ansa na otimi edno ho ahye pension hye mana. Nti meka sa no pay nyame adum amma nyampanifo a ofri eye ahye ho. Ora Christopher Bodi Mensa ACO National Pension Regulatory Authority and pay or her chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now what is it? Nyam kakrakra ibi. Nyam kusuhe. Na oba na nyono nkwa ne bae. Adwuma no ba akofo ya enyi. Ti owura Philemon La, Director of Planning. E wasio. Penny Machi. Now what is it?
Nyam adom bia boko.
Now quickly see yenhwe as your pension. We nim say brano bibeko ebibeba. Beto da bia ebia baby ho abekọ ne hoye nti wo to aso anye din asi ya wato be possible baby so ho abekọ na amna ne mudo di asi wato am ne mu a wogini ba so wo bae no pension aso ya ne ho to say
yo James me da say my mama tie for achi on pay essence so sorry na se nyame aye bia man ye beka ye pension ho nsam dia pension ya de a ehuhia I was say Ubia she na ne ho nsam ye kane ye NPR, that's the National Pension Regulatory Authority. Since I buy Becca say a friend kakra nie ejosu when him say a cap pension once some prepare no amount for fee say estimate when him say even there's a regulator nipa be bringing share him so there's a regulator called the Pensions Authority almost share pension onsem our my money na ya buy no yeah ya beto bi ya to aso se be ya pension onsem ya kwa homijimu a ebe ye painless enti no na ya hwe se ebe ya institutions no amanfo be hu ye na adwuma pot ya ye no so mate ase enti break akre ya ne ato ya ho se wose kire o mind to phone a nneomo a ede koso and ten year.
Okay.
Yes, Sawakaya, were the 3-year pension scheme under the 766 now, which was a year 2008. MPR was giving birth or 2010 almost started a whole operation. Now, it's been 16 years. Until maybe break also authority to her. Yeah. See a or man for the better see.
That's right.
Ejuma crop pot yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You want say okay say baby fun say NPR in Ukraine and science net draw the differences in my. You say more regulated there. Say be obiti and opaya obiti nothing.
The difference what you net more any other in here say NPR ni a regulator.
Okay.
Yeah na ye share pension hun sema e wo krum hen na ana ye mandate ne say ye be hwe say art na ya ba no na implementation maybe a wo pension ho no ye be hwe on say me dey kan kasa me ka about the 3-year pension scheme snit and a hwe tier 1 no usually no there are 2 types of pensions I na ye run ye will define contribution and ye will define benefits.
Okay.
SNIT and a share defined benefit scheme so and now the private sector near the other also share the defined contribution element of the pension. And we as the MPRA and ye regulatory way in terms of the activities are more said there's a transparency because people are contributing towards their retirement. The system should be transparent. Also, we also advise on government or policy directions and then reforms. I will say about licensing of the private sector, almost scheming in corporate trustees. Licenses. Now, investment guidelines and because pension fund to me. Supposed to be brave into MPR in my investment guideline as to acquire some of us on my own money investment. And yes,
apart from that, being the authority, no one say of course net so and I say utia pension no. Do you engage them to an authority on the do some moralities and
Debbie, SNET's issues and this animal will work closely with SNET.
Okay.
You show minimum here, boy, more, any set of investment guidelines. Maybe I shall say normal.
Okay.
Yeah, Jama.
In Mekua, I said, said me for custom and also some money, dear Chibia. And I know the Wajama, the SNET.
No. Once it has something to do with pensions, no.
Okay.
Yes, we are hobby.
Okay.
But man, take question as in you may say
in
yeah.
In Numano outdoor no. The various institutions here. Ghana ni be a many biano or where you may be.
Oh yeah.
Say no. Whether soon between no Montreal, be best of won't those things.
Oh Montreal, then we have the power to prosecute, we have the power to do, especially when it comes to the tier 2.
Okay.
When it comes to the tier 1, SNET also have the power to prosecute.
Okay.
Ensure that employers or more edumayo or more diana or more chia a yama or more jumayo for say by ya or more quam GMA and your breath never yeah. So pension, okay, I've prepared enough semi-core retirement. Yeah. So we ensure that employers who are not paying, the laws give us the power or the mandates you better not prosecute. But you better say, Ejumaya for no, Ejumaya no employer should have interest in the retirement of the employees. See, one day we feel so Ejumaya TV ZY. It means you are retiring with comfort and dignity. Okay. And as the employer, that should be your interest. When people go on retirement, they say, "Oh my age, mama, so TV station, you know." It means so be a person by age, because more retirement, you know, almost a share when my money panel if you can almost a 7 friends or day. Okay.
Now, Obai said 1.5 years.
Almost a half a year.
But Obai has accountability because here. CEOs maybe Bromba will be all cross say handing over no to Grano where will be when you be those things. Did you face that challenge?
No,
how was Obai saying the next
MPR dear because I mean a challenge say how manja handing over no to then I'm being
how well was it?
Oh, it was properly done. It was properly done. Sometimes, I don't say these are regulators and things quite, yeah, on by and because there are rules. I was betting my age as a regulators, and I can say, pretty much it was proper thing was done.
Okay. My said director of plan now. Mamusaka krase. Yana mostly one year and crank no. I can count what the back was net to Yana and Shedenigo. And Sheben or Mudiagua so amount for by you enticing people to, get involved.
Okay, only a bit I say. Sana boss Akano. One of the main things MPIA under his distinguished leadership say we're ensuring that there's employer compliance. Compliance in the and they say SNIT and all the corporate trustees are almost tier 2 no sono. We are a worker in any organization in this country as an employee. Your employer has a responsibility to contribute 13.5% towards your SNIT. And then 5% of that towards your tier 2 as well. So for us as MPR as a regulator, we have a responsibility and the responsibility to ensure that all employers are compliant to this responsibility. Mandate say we're ensuring that people are able to retire in dignity. So employer want to be contributing in the year, employee no want to be retire. So you say whether SNIT or whether as a corporate trustee, about 28 of them that operate within our space, they have a responsibility to say employers have a responsibility to remit their contributions to all of these corporate trustees, either to SNIT or to these corporate trustees. So we are doing just that. Hereby, and so your directorate be or your organization, your friend is standards and compliance. Chief at a specific unit. Unit in the Jumani say, ensure say there's employer compliance. Because there are a number of people within the space who don't pay the contribution of their workers. Amount for so tier 1 per SNIT panel. Tier 2. Boss say, if we want the workers of this country to retire in dignity, we must make sure that every employer or tier what he's supposed to pay for his employees. So that's one of the very important measures we have taken. And we are all around the regions of this country. We are going out for every employer, ensuring that they adhere to the rules that we have set out.
Okay. But Chief Musa will say, they were fun on Wedgman. Sani Pano or Pa and Obitria Snit and ask him Russian kitting. So man will just
thank you. When it comes to retirement, you and I will be able to just 61 day per year in I retirement. Or more year or more ejuma. When fans say, well, you're ejuma. Also, whom he said, obesies you, which you got on a sharp. The informal sector about 80% of our economy. And who be here said almost so ABCC or more. A jealousy, a pre-P, no, but who said, Obi away in a Jumano. Why a young, no, a Jumana cost. A be a tama own system. Na a Jumana's son, a be all crabbles and egg, let me free commerce. And Tiwana system, Obetima could join beam. In pre-P, no, in Fiena Quanimano. Now I am right. And Tia show myself one young Juma Crano. And I was said, one day, almost sees you when she told us retirement. And we hear Papa. And when he and I said, one sees you one baby and sees a brave over retirement, a bad factor. So I actually encourage self-employers. They should also contribute towards their retirement. And I said, well, we were Juma. That's why Fenipa. Kakra no more boa more you Jumana. As a children say, I was so cheer both need any tier 2 towards the retirement of that person. And Primpino, once the informal sector, no go Juma 5 or Juma 4 by 5, 10. Who know cheer. Kai said some crow for a bedroom middle 60 years. A better no my retirement, and it was a year. A yauso. I was say a year in GS, why year Juma, a braba, me kojama home, name Momo Kojawa home. I was a sky class or day. Eba, a Josu Kai said, will be a year Juma. No, we know regular income. Bosu be a betriaca club, bosu be a betriaca club. But come with GMA, a beam. And T. Usi, see what China sell retirements, need to tree out here 2 sweet triaca club. And not just over ye. Yeah, me tell you so size example. We are Jumane, yeah, more 5,000 cities, Uber just call retirement. Now a pension, less than 500 and 1,000 a year. It was in prepping, and nioma we ya na ye ni di agro but ya nioma ye very serious thing.
Okay.
So when we will be our retirement. Na dru bo so me haso. We hear 500 cedis per and ya top. Na dru na onya bia and no who say how serious and how difficult these things are.
Yeah.
And I Misaka sa asem in primpi no ye woma ye show mo say na maybe shra won be di no mo school and your parents no was said here.
Okay.
But now all over the world about then say will be a university at age 23 or 24.
Yeah.
Was starting at my best at 26 or 27 or 30. And she was also started the family.
Yeah.
Sadly, Paya was starting the family. You started Triana, me fan said 10,000 cities. The rent inquire about maybe 3,000-4,000 cities. The most school fees were home, the year ma or per car any other. 1 year no, not 10,000 cities. Maybe I went to me and say we been put. A better than our mamma and no papa at baby free to save the jama and I have no southeast. Skase part of it when I said and I said, it be able to me aso. Me send me mamma, it be 1,000 cities. Amaneni aye em prep in ya na eden because ni panankasa wo ko enyomemu a ontimi sorten na yere ne ma ene ho asem enti ye den se obaye and nonti na se wo so wakonya ne se even though wo hwe wo yere ene wo hwe o ma awo school ni ade be wo siesie ho se ebre bi beba wo be ko ahomijie mu no won depending on o ma no so na mum insisi papa wa ye fa wo pension ho no be boa am wetimi atma se am
papa yen fa ne se onso obi o hwa nsu isota no ton bi mako bi jeni sa bodwa afo no omo no bede na sa system no na se pension no odo no akwa akoshim
me da se on se be the car catcher was informal sector no of Ghana no about 80% enti ye ba ye no ya yen chese ya yes bibia be ye digital ni said people should have confidence in the pension system, especially when it comes to the informal sector. And because there's so many pension digital ecosystem where so what studio hakranoa MPRA aka kra bi ni awie se be ye obetima tena baby okọ platform no so a hu the ACBA platform so you can do your contribution to serving producer or your pure water driver or your farmer. Everybody can actually contribute towards their retirement.
Brown
Nante. Obeti ma select farm managers or one share where you obeti ma select corporate trustees or any one share mano. Say you class need to also be on that platform. These are share and never say you be capture ubia into the pension system. See ACC and your call retirement and inside. So we are doing that and it requires a lot of a bit of investment. But Damiada Roma with the prudent management and the board no support and the ministry no support no. We are doing that and it will come to life very soon.
But I said okay, you for my name shushan for any ade. Omo phone plan 100.
Debbie so when they young phones one and then my mama she's about 80.
Yes.
Oh, you shoot phone baby. When tip me about ma and then now with me a day. Or more boa or more among my day. Maybe a person you be out to me a day or to me a boa. And very easy. And I remember the people we are talking about people are almost between fans age 15 up to 60 or less because we are just studies no call retirement more than that. And into those are the people are and I attack sorry they can easily
commit my we so young phones near they know they book
na say yeah because the platform allow you bet me mobile money atria obet my monetize scanner me tria na maybe corporate trustee B say omo invest interest kakraba ho a oye dey Inti at every stage no the cost our retirement plan.
Okay. At every stage no the cost retirement plan and say call papa and enquire quickly.
Then you can stop it because they can say okay, you report to MPRA. This is what this corporate trustee is doing.
Okay.
What is the way forward?
Okay. Inti meant now bonting chese but baby planning baby you be say we see so yes we see that. And I mean fan to pensions I make pension and I munyasa we people have that idea. I mean, see me down a pension, they told na or see me down or pension.
Baby, or how me say, oh dear, body, now I dear could
Usum body and no some could.
Usum body and also could. So whichever way it is, you must have a plan A and a plan B.
Okay.
Dying year. Because within the 3-year pension scheme, there's a provision for that for your first primary residence.
Okay.
And the down year now so udachin so ye. And to me the any young person out here program me encouraging say it's very important. Say whatever you are doing for your present situation, you must also think about tomorrow. Okay. Like my boss said, two things are certain: you either die before 60 or you retire at 60. Whichever option I see there, SL prepare.
The BBC.
The BBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Obi so better to say. Age differences na ya na edem. At what age? NSL plan said no. SMCO na me it me a pension.
By Ghanaian laws, at 15 you can start contributing towards a pension. 15 years.
Oh.
From 15 years you can start.
Unemployed. For this situation, those are your category. You say unemployed. Ghana and unemployed in the years busumi onya busumi eduma. Ntino unemployed no no better than a scheme.
So we be a friend a personal pension. Which one kasa voluntary we start to say we could contribute. So 3 tier, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Aside these ones, you can personally on your own know that me retired actually. I want to start working towards that. Okay. I want to start planning towards that. So apart from all of these, take a conscious step by your own self.
Okay.
I will start here. I will total be toho. Emma or Dachi.
Okay.
So I know so.
Okay.
Not just when I'm a crank on so can say at what stage?
Yeah.
You know, maybe they make us say, especially from day one, we start here, your retirement should be very important to you. You know, sometimes people are working at age 23, 24, 20, whatever. You know, if you say, oh, in fear be or but met my show was before so be no
not time to
call.
Okay.
And from day one, once you start employment, your retirement should be a very critical
thing. At what age and I want to me call scheme so and I say be I want to me and contribute towards pension. At what age?
Oh, even at age 60, there's a product as well you can invest in that will be paying you pensions sort of. Your friend or annuity product because be I've been fine. So will be in 60 years.
Yeah.
You know, ne tier 2 and then the Provident Fund. Or mama me find say be 1 million cedis. When you're 60 years, when you're 1 million, you kind of lump sum.
Okay.
Snake to be training be kakra. At that time, and yes, I bred on a 7 producer at age 60. When you're 1 million, will be a Europe car. Now with your regular income, so you still need a regular income to survive. It is when 1 million cedis, no, you could see dying. When you're 60 years, when you could see dying, do nobody because now you are not getting, and maybe your SNIT pensions, no, will be something small. Okay. So who advise? Okay, when you lump sum, at least, be your person will see that as a person, you be crana, be a West with a car, clear be a movie. When you 1 million Ghana cedis, I don't know what far be a move 500,000 cedis enter annuity product and also be your regular income. You can do annuity 10 years annuity, you can do maybe 15 years annuity. Then also broska see a it's like what that's where every month be a kakrabe day ebe kumama. But when you na share maybe infrastructure more. One say those things will not bring any returns, and it can affect your retirement.
Okay, meaning the by a traditional or a traditional setup now. Most Lubons say be a mawari and a mano a beyond the so on fee on the cream do since on conwaba no acquire pension in this case no or no better than a cap pension once a head knock.
So maybe this is still a bit my
okay.
You're talking about housewives.
Yes.
You couldn't support no. For all you know, no feel so a housewife, but no here you maybe when you sky crack. But my personal pension plan.
Okay.
And to make capture under in the informal sector pensions thing. Almost with my baby.
Okay.
And now
yeah,
because my baby because the system will allow you because the first to be a housewife.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean say we never be a friend. And I'm a Into if 10 cities grown now when you be towards your retirement, a baby was say, when you're 16, no, but medical can say, wouldn't even for an into muscle because I feel so cheap school fees so sure more. I'm on my ye, I'm on my shower and prepino, wouldn't mean yes, I say, because the way we are as an economy. asasa kakra.
Okay.
Nti wase wa osiesie hu yi efa wo pension.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the abusuafo no pe wo hwe ha. Enkomo kakra ye di kan di ahase no pension e ho nkomo na no pe ye na ye wo national regulatory pension scheme no authority mpanyfo ha ye no mudi nkomo na ekoso no de beboa me no mi na yetimi akora kakra dachi ye mra na ese ya yetimi topara biku amambi no ma ye ho ankyere ya amro sika sen na ehia aye de beto boso bia anana otwe ana sen any here meeting be started.
That's it. On say Josu. Untemen kasa 7 predecessor. EBM ye adwuma. And I'm in informal sector. The meaning na 1,000 Ghana cedis. You know one who say, oh, okay, be 1,000 Ghana cedis. Meet me comfortably. I can save 50 cedis. Towards my retirement plan.
Okay.
Now I and now me say be a 10 cities. How long was that? Me find me find say what 30 cc.
Yeah.
Now will contribute towards your retirement planner.
Yeah.
You have 30 years to do that.
Even though because Indomie run it, what you run is with you.
Oh, so 10 cities crop a
month and a week.
Oh, a journey panel income, so bet mine weekly, or bet mine daily, or bet mine quarterly. Engineer the honor, and no man, a bad one, say a bay, and fanon call or how a brass or a year, man. We more genius, okay. We are minute to honor, or more motions, no more we. That's the farm managers and the pension, the corporate trustees is being managed properly. Once those you know, and NPR so every regulatory year. We how long, you know? It will amazing you say, hey, be a 10 Ghana cedis, but because we are also managing here, because I say pool, you know, so they get very good returns on your fund for you.
Okay.
And time among you know, and I believe that's one we feel so being here, scanning, you know, a better one was sky over there. And when I'm boardroom, Nana, one of my directors, Kasiebo, no. Before so called retirement, you know, we ye kakra amazing sika unyaye and son was started edging the snake no no crane because started short time and you know there was a huge return on it.
Okay.
These are some of the testimony I was a man for car. I was here share your pension when some and your retirement when some can
Philemon Musa said sika nkrofo and what they to there are rishimu ne room. I am professor. Oh, we a baby actually. Sanche much shebeno. I reach him say ubi didn't seek a kotoa when him so he's safe. He or she safe.
You know, previously now we had a situation say man for nam jom mojisika susu collectors. Then all of a sudden you don't find a susu collector again. So it's created a sense of distrust within the system. But Sana Chief Akaino, you deploy something I friend pensions digital ecosystem. It's a foolproof, reliable, tried and tested electronic system. It is impossible. I can say it is impossible for you to alter someone's funds. So yeah, say people have had bad experiences in the past, and that's why the MPR has reflected all of this in deploying the PDE, pensions digital ecosystem. So you have the full assurances that what that system we are deploying is foolproof. It's not possible for anyone to run away with your money. Our regulation, so we are very hard on the system. Hard because ours is to protect the contributor so that they have a good pension retirement system. I believe, yeah.
Okay. Let's say Shrubia and actually Shrubia didn't seek a cotona and Sanka. Yeah, one number of months I saw contributor and someone qualify any SKB and answer say, and do be able to be anytime you are entitled to. Is that the case?
No, I think let's get a clarity here. So the formal sector is quite different from the informal sector. So when the question is directed at the formal sector, then you can speak to it. I think so the formal sector now, the minimum qualifier is about 15 years. You know, they qualify to have a pension from both needs and the destiny. Anything, me and say be able to now be joining. While relocating, knowing 50 years, after now by year, the law requires that you ensure that you are contributing this thing towards the defined contribution schemes. Say we will not lump sum at that time. But the snake skin in the year, maybe you cannot be part because of age limit. The informal sector, you can work, and then there's a flexibility. You know, will allow say it depends on the rules of the scheme.
Okay.
How better my yes okay me yeah after 5 years no.
Yeah.
Even kura mejuma na cost kura metimi anya bia maybe 70, 30, 50% out of it, whilst I'm still contributing towards it. It allows.
Okay.
And even formal sector no cry we won't say film they can your primary residence. So what contribute me find so especially when it comes to the tier 3, you know, whatever after 10 years you actually can have access to the to buy your primary or first house if you say first the laws allow the pension act really give that opportunity for one to do that. So sana
there will be a one so one man on the hour no or net contribution.
No, so when you had the want to be contribute, but with the system on our burden and say no one on here, it became very easy, and we encourage them the diaspora because of the system they can sit everywhere in the world and contribute, you know, join the scheme. So be fair, you know, so most of the time Ghana need be in to quite person forever, and now sometimes. Yeah, can say you refuse to be this. I said that won't be Ghana for Ghana be a for economic benefit. You baby fee. Ghana need anyone or somebody to crack what now for that be. Until now with this system now, Abuchi food in na could be to contribute towards their pensions while they work there. Say be £100 and a person every month be the system. My access system from everywhere in the world. No switch towards his retirement. And it's something that we encourage them. So almost
that's right. Yeah. I know Peboga for now muti na baby am wa mo hwe no. Yes system no sisi ade na we makwan. Ntu so betimi contribute to Ghana your pension no. Na abafi a ho ama mechiro. Mamusa Philemon we fund sika. I thought be so baby sika ko bia na investment. But investment to one sister and investment pensioner so you need to say be ya multi monitor multi regulate baby you be sika free honeko and as say
okay me that say generally no MPI will be a friend investment guideline. So investment guideline the kinds of classes of investments over my but within the pension space no so your amount for from fund managers they have the ultimate responsibility to advise the corporate trustees and say invest then we play a watchdog role overall to be sure that in fact we will have an alternative investment and so investment guideline allows say or to call more than up to 25% on alternatives. So alternatives included real estate, infrastructure and all of that. But the general point I want to make here is that the MPRA supervises all levels of investments that corporate trustees will choose to put their money into. We want to be sure that whatever investments are done, we are in ways that are sustainable, in ways that are profitable, because it is the money of contributors. And your responsibility of investing it is to multiply the money for the overall benefit of all those that are contributing. So we sit back, we are watching and ensuring that due diligence is done and that the monies are, the returns are good enough.
Good. So investment na scheme in the bay, more contributing or more for so free.
Oh, they almost charge regulatory fees, and for the corporate trustees, so they have some fee over money that they invest. But aside that, the bulk of the money is what you invest for the benefit of the contributors.
Okay. I was wanting the no.
Oh, so investment. I come from. I say we were talking about platform. Now the person ecosystem platform is going to make it say, you any MPRA officer, you say, ABR. Corporate trustee and the farm manager A.
Yeah.
My investor was radio
XYZ.
And that is the transparent nature of whatever is going on.
And monitor.
We can't expose pension funds.
Okay.
So risk management is the key thing. As a regulators, yes.
Okay.
So the safety, because that's one of our duties, the safety of the pension funds. Seven predators a pension fund, ultimate Casawafa, when they call yet be a bit too risky.
Yeah.
No. We don't have to lose any fund. Oh, it is our share, domestic debt restructuring program. Pension funds technically were not affected because the just is people will go on retirement and therefore, you can't just touch their into pension funds and a ban we should buy all the standard pension fund now. You're very religious about it. We're training now. Time I saw was so training. One message back. It tells you how important about we share the retirement of people. And
so see, I can say the number we had the population and then qualified to work nowhere. The number you could see contributors now. Is it encouraging?
It's not as encouraging. To one leg, you can say it's encouraging. To another leg, it's not as much. Because social the percentages are of the workforce in Ghana. No? 20% were formal sector, and 80% were informal sector. Now, informal sector, no honor, say we have to do much more work because you're a trotro driver, hairdresser, tailor, you know, a lot of people are around, but they constitute about 80.
I'm restricted to be say by all means. So to me bus system so I'm right said anyway she will be architects because the formal sector no one quite and but what about the informal sector?
Oh, say and come on we are coso. Oh, say successive government they've talked about Kuku farmers pension, they've talked about GPR pension, money His Excellency the President has talked about it. It's in the NDC manifesto. These are the things that you your person employ. So leadership or the whole country will be able to say, you will recruit the informal sector into the pension system. And I buy so medical catcher say by in the last 1 year, we are doing a lot of reforms in terms of the pension acts. Oh, say pension act now running from say 2008 up to date, and now say 2010 since the NPR started Omojuma up to date. There hadn't been a huge reform in terms of the arts and the other. Yes, sector minister yes, said there will be reform, and we'll see how the informal sector can sit and ensure that people are actually contributing towards or more retirement and the other. And when here and penny for move, we are saying Ghana and I was the informal sector near there about on board the saving culture. People should really save towards their retirement. And a savings, usually I now focus on savings. And how big
numbers no for my young Kasiebo education is a cost.
No, we are doing education
awareness. No, maybe of something amount for relax.
I just say no pay. I no pay yet. I say you be amount for who say one. There's an institution called MPRA. Two, you jumana say you say pension who semne retirement in na Ghana for better as ye. 3 say be ya or more no or more who say oh because a buy one institutions our so I very transparent in tea omo ye bibia how is ruby anya day enim enti ye church and dey hu hia
but most now advertising the end product to ayanebwa say ya be we bra obi begine dey akoso na advertiser it also entices others too.
Now,
what about say one sikana could do maybe a be show and yes, I never end more monitoring be there, baby cut such a man, but there are sanctions be no. And I know the straight same run it taking a direct.
You know who be at the Chima Sabri. I've monitored this and I've been part of it. Oh, Sam, now me insurance person before say. At 766 Bebano. The insurance for near your pension, especially when it comes to Provident Funds, it was managing the entire distance, paying both lump sum and pensions. And the better Provident Fund was largely being managed by most of the insurance companies. And see, if know how this thing has been. Usually, then say pension fund, because the first thing they look at is the safety of the fund. Safety. And expose funds need be brave for one to be that. And there's a regulator. The Jumana say, or share MPR Jumana say, one investment guidelines now in the amount on call outside the guidelines. Oh, the panel. Call outside, and we are ensuring, and we get a lot of requests. Even sometimes, we say a corporate trustees, fund managers, some person my investment. We said the rules, AB or money, or travelers, MPRA. Sadly, we bet me assessing it is okay. Relatively, it's not that high risk. And I bet my mom will say be acquired. And I didn't think my experiences the pension funds will be acquired investment. Be a manako bad. I'm gonna create a lot of issues for now.
But I did back way be here pass it. So be a year. na ebia yintua ne pension na or kwa report one here no so cry be another matter. More a way and a system mutimi at the monitor. Na sa phone be you free. Maybe a man crowd to me Kasao. How much must
No, he's trying to say okay.
As I'm trying to say, me wait memory. Mean Cassie in Tiana pension, Tiana Kama. Maybe baby in Tia, work an ordinary work platform be no binya to report a in
and what kind of reporting an employer?
Okay, so first of all, when you say Ghana, we have something called the Whistleblowers Act, and to say that law protects you and your identity. And to say report my and we at MPR.
By what means?
Or you can call us. You can come to any of our offices. We are at 9 regions in this country.
Okay.
We are across this country in 9 regions. We have an office here, the head office here in Accra, Airport City, and there's another zonal office in Tema.
Okay.
Aside that, you can just visit our website, www.mpra.gov.gh.
Okay.
We'll visit your website. There's a complaint process that you can follow. And once we receive your complaint, we'll act on it. MPRA is not like some institutions who are not very prompt in their responses. At MPRA, we are very, very, very prompt. Once your complaint comes, we act on it immediately. Even so, if it's on a weekend, we'll start commence processes at addressing your complaint.
Exposing the panic.
Yes, we will not.
No example, and on say you call sister stations na back Kasai FA pension, and me Kasai na me be no be trying say, oh Charlie, I've noticed my people no pay their tier 2 for me for 9 months. You know, how can I report to MPRA?
Okay.
I practically about the direct. You pardon me into on the brain was say, why you 9 months in year. The employer no enye and I'm catching so okay man enye me more at well let's say company no na dey and am me say baby am here adwuma ni 9 months ni onye nti so me na ma ye compliance unit na say monko adenti na 9 months because you ho kwan say betima prosecute that employer ni pana ye adwuma wa te no adenti na countries can man the corporate trustees am mo invest in money panel and this complaint we get them every day our identity no yanya den ye can't do bia ye boase be ya o me ye de bia make us adenti na we employer utia taxes na utia sika ama ni power ye adwuma eboa na setren be ye se wakwa ahomgie mu a adenti na wo say ye wo ya me da ya na me nyi ni say most of the time employer empesa obetwa be ya na a lack of say when that yes need to be your face why there okay meanwhile there's a second tier I was so I said there uchia ka ho enti na ye wo ha ye chichem say we employer you know ensure say wo ye dey uchia both the SNET and then your tier 2 beboa se nipa na wo ye adwuma ma ono wakwa ahomegye mu na setren be ye boko
oh na your phone number so na ka o ma na ka
exactly nti no baby anopa we wo a wo hwe bia no se wo issues e wo pension ho a batch of free ahoma ye de ba betudua na say district offices
we have regional offices
okay nti regional across the 16 regions baby
9 regions
we are 9 regions
okay out of the 16 or more 9 until 9 no
ye beam next year
I think say more coordinator na crowd no be boy more a fine and complaint
okay so apart from the website our complaint process no bit my friend 0302 96 8692
okay
me boni biom 0302 96 8692
okay
your number no
24/7 why problems be our pension who be an offer home where by a man friend at 12 o'clock.
Hey, 24 hours.
24 hours. Okay. You are saying, oh, that's sorry, no, when it's 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay. Maybe you're hard to be trapped to our brain.
I just say that's it. I will acquaint now near my say, Yane, Ashafon Casa, and fa, ye pensions and ye retirement once. Yeah, a Jumana say, you better say, bread, ye better Ghana for say, or CCC home. Retirement, and therefore MPRA is there. See a bear, beboa, my a pension, you man, and so be with difficulties. If the pension on being it SNET, being it tier 2, our doors are open. Among you know, medium come we get complaints every day, and we are trying to say we'll resolve them. Acquire ourselves as we are there. In tier, the must be brave, Mama is acquainted with now. A brand no must invite any abeka more near church there. viewers know how to do it. NPR is there too.
So that amount for make me create awareness. They do what I say so you now for no. Now if it me abo am na it me akwachi. Yeah no pay. E better mass.
Yeah that's it. Yeah that's it.
Yeah. Enti empanyfo mienu anope wo na boy na ode be fa pension hihye mu CEO Ora Christopher Bode Mensa CEO National Pensions Regulatory Authority NPR anope ono eneja oboy Orbans no one in the planning and by Philemon La Director of Planning asio anope no so kan bi na mum sabri de ma bedwafo na ready anope nkomo no ye ho no ye de bebro make us say Ora Kwasia de ODK founder leader Edema United front party anope wo ha bi Ivan Che Innocent ono so ha activist youth activist and Ibrahim Kamal Dean MPP communications team member Sansuna set comments or a member of the NDC communications sample if we you know more say na fa no pen sem na wap no so no yet me de hunkumo na me basisi a finance minister wo year free IMF mu no enkoma oni edie no yemfa no start na fa yenhwe uti anopa no say IMF no ba bia edru no ya boy homode ye pull out yenkomra.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved. Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Microfinance, growing with you.
Hello Ghana, payday is here. Stand a chance to win instant cash prizes on Review Scratch for Win, up to 100,000 Ghana cedis to be won today. Get ready to play Review Scratch for Win to win big on TV XYZ. Stop scrolling and start winning. It's simple. Dial *850*6# on all networks. Choose your card type and select your lucky card for a chance to win big. Play with at least 5 Ghana cedis or more. You could win up to 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes instantly. Yes, you heard right. 100,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes. Don't miss out on the chance to win big. Dial *850*6# to play it now. Review Scratch for Win. Scratch it today. Baby Scratching pound. You must be 18 years and above to play. Terms and conditions apply. This game is regulated and approved by the NMA and the Caritas Council.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure.
Emission
Check.
Alignment. Check.
Brakes. Check. Visit AutoChecks at Koforodia Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks. Check.
AutoChecks. Your safety, our priority.
Check, auto checks. If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehin fa na menya bosia edi atre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuokuro bosia, susu account, ɛne da so wɔ hɔ savings account, me bada chain savings account, ɛne de akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Na wɔn so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Stay back and stay safe. National Petroleum Authority. Ebo bibia kokose. Se fuel tank enya kwenshia. Ne dania. Menko ho nkwaye wadwen se. Onkosisa petrol anafango no. Ena finso. Menye wadwen se wo ben fuel tank enya kwenshia ne ho. Akwa akodwetwa videos. Ana pictures. Na petrol anafango wo wenso. Uhua ko wo mu a. Enye sunsun asobone. Ewo apomoden semso. Fango nso. Eho ahometinti no. Enfom so akitu ebi. Ebetumi ameja tom. Amana gise wom. Eba ne saa. Nipa dodo timi femu hihye ehwe mo nkwa emeja pade dodo na nso esei aya fredum je adwumayefo ana posifo no mo mehwe nso ano wutumi nso efre National Petroleum Authority ewo 0302 550 380 kaise wonkwa wo hoi eho hia bebre esen sa fango no kokoboi National Petroleum Authority ene de bro.
Yama herfo akwa ba na afia no pay ento aso mfemfre baabi a wo bia no pay abra na so na efa edri sabri abedwafo na ye ready wa ha ye no mo de enkomo no beto aso wo mu ba onso nim die musu ehunu de wate no no nso ai analysis ndi amai eboa e kan bamika bi nti betie obi a de ne de atoto ho na afi papa e wo no yetumi afa before na medical de atodwa se finance minister actually IMF baabi a ye dru ne mpempen so ndi na ese fra na ese efrim na afi yenso yetumi de ho sikasemu amanfo busa well yekọ na efrim yekọ na efrim this time round betimi amane app na agina na so ama esikasem ya kasa ampa afi de yenso ya hye atumi amana efe ho komo anope bejebre na afi yahwe tape na ready a yen kanto so na afi minister ntena ase no hye se de city no yentie bi
marks the definitive end of Ghana's financial bailout relationship with the IMF. The government of Ghana is exceedingly grateful to the people of Ghana for their sacrifices, resilience, and forbearance. The government of Ghana is also exceedingly grateful to our bilateral creditors, the Official Creditors Committee, and our external and domestic investors for their collective sacrifice. Going forward, the government of Ghana announces an engagement with the IMF on Policy Coordination Instrument, PCI. The PCI is a form of technical assistance engagement with the IMF. It is non-financing instrument designed to help countries implement economic reforms and signal commitment to policies that the financial market will be very comfortable with, and unlock financing from private investors and other development partners. For the avoidance of doubt, the PCI does not provide financial bailout, but it will offer continuous capacity development, confidence boost to the market, and deliver a catalytic effect for fresh financing to Ghana. This non-bailout technical assistance policy coordination instrument will complement government effort to achieve investment grade in the near future. Achieving investment grade is very important and significant to the people of Ghana. It will lower sovereign and private sector borrowing costs and attract long-term institutional investors, increase foreign direct investment, and unlock cheaper financing for critical infrastructure development and private sector growth. Ultimately, this engagement will support Government of Ghana's effort to accelerate sustainable development, create jobs, and raise living standards for all Ghanaians. President Mahama and his administration remain fully committed to good governance, prudent economic management, fiscal discipline, and creating an attractive environment for both domestic and international.
Okay, and we Ghana, your finance minister, Ra Atufos and Enra, in Kitaudi, out the two Ghana for Ghana economy, and then she say, I'm a koi baby a coupie, they say we ye who Eddie Frame. My bed of what's nasi, once what TV, Yankee can see any radio. Make us say, Ra, I could see a deodike, LPI, excellence, and I friend. I no pay what's nasi waha, I didn't get on din, a bro. Your Excellency, my channel pay. Now here.
The one selection in Yakai.
That's right.
As you can see.
That's right. Now party say
any movement.
That's right.
You go through the end. Union government. That's all right. Inclusive governance.
Yeah.
IMF and kind
Mate, Mebano so. Samson Aura set Corbin Sewaha. We NDC communication team member. Set Mate. Now where?
Alhamdulillah.
That's right.
What do you say if you went to I mean, I just say, me just so Union Mukramufon chairman. Very well. Uba Ghana Hanina, Babia Unya Mox Kesepa, Wenchi.
Okay.
Tuti Muse Wenchi, ye Sumdi, Intiano Paya, Mababi Drew Heidi, Namid in Chason, Everma, ye chief imam, and in a bid actually.
That's right.
Unya Bakosia, those who are film. The friend is about to.
Oh, okay.
Mizonim Nova. Yenya Makwana, I understand the Jumane, a church and there, you hear Muso Munina Bitria, Senate, it's about to treat you to Sano Pim, I mean, Mano. Now, Machia in Panning for when she and Panning for, say, and there, an opinion of my departure, and now almost one year, Quanya, air.
That's right.
Just on Concomo and Timan. Unia Basso, MC,
I do know
Gloria, Opidian, all kind, or Sano Payment Chairman. MP so say fan just on come when you may feel. My poor bobo when chinti baby will be a need you.
That's right.
Uncle won't count now more. Wow, what about entry? Say they will say when Chen Yama.
Yeah. Your Excellency. Yes, I said no finance minister will make me a bobre so far. I will see Kasiebo before they agreed here. Say first near the junk to B minus. They say at the B. You see a free IMF.
Jawusu. That's any akwanya dia mami. Amincha menua and many beli many NDC ni ye try say MPP ni so beba.
Yeah.
Chia Ghana mpelifo nyina titru otumfo o say tutu asante menra. Menana chia president Ira Mahama ne na pamfo nyina for union government the like minds. Yet the same multi-party democracy, or maybe a Africa country be anywhere, or practice a man or turn it that. Indeed, you believe we say Ghana Nibia or a junior in a kind of boomer. You beat me at the eye of mine.
That's right.
There was democracy, no, and your box, young box soon for more might be a template.
Okay.
It could be a Tilani there to suit the mindset, the culture, the tradition. Any the way of life of the people.
Okay.
The German democracy, any Britain, any American, by now said before, Yentimin transcend your critical thinking, we need to be near now you're con tokwa. I don't cry yet, but you see a democracy. If you say a woman say, a cosala a democracy, democracy, it too here free hope.
Democracy.
Ni tika sia pani say or maybe I will practice a very good democracy now trekking around the globe with cap in hand begging with democracy na papa.
Okay.
And let you could do IMF yɛbɛka ho asɛm ɔma bi a woyɛ democracy a technology abɔ ɛnyɛ democracy papa ɔma biara a woyɛ democracy na the gap between the half and the half not it keeps widening ɛnyɛ democracy yɛdeɛ wɔyɛ fake but ɛbɛgya tom a ɛbɛteme me deɛ no ase no ɛda na Ghanafoɔ wobɛhu sɛ sɛ ne yɛti so mu wei nyina aborɔfo na dedɛdɛ IMF no deɛ ɛka yɛkɔ bɛnyina ɛyɛ aborɔfo no ada a ɛyɛ continuation of colonization masa deɛ di kan no IMF yɛakɔ mu 17 times yɛkɔ ne yɛfi garbage in garbage out garbage in garbage out yɛbi before da bɛpaa ne yɛbɛsua nyansa Sab exit ya exit so many times 17 times and ya kwa ya exit you see about we buy no obeto a IMF so yewa mama the first time okwa IMF Nana Akufo-Addo criticize ye but we ma extend no Akufo-Addo extend no omu ebreso se ye exit no ye exit ye ani busumi mienu ana esa kwa IMF esa kwa IMF no ye no kwa na ye bekoye nko ye wura mama no na dia no tum se masa ba bia mo ase o man aduma kwa IMF a enye yi no so monko se ye wura mama wo so wa exit ba ye wura mama bae no me hwe fiscal discipline any prudent and pragmatic financial setup on the two na me hu ni say na omu pese exit IMF because conditions are ebe mu free mu no e fa kase na agina physical monetary discipline wo de bebu man ye free mu no financial bailout na ye free mu but technical support ai adwini mu and she say ah omu be boa de nyam free yada so how na mempe kura because the world economy no global economic competition obi an oba so be won hihye ya obetimi gira na so na ja be san ho because what you say oba strong na ja be san ho eti abofo try say omu be dead yen no ma che nyema bi a ebe keep yen abject poverty in perpetuity da bia ne wo hiam ne da wo mu da bia ne wo hiam ne da wo mu look ever to force in kasa no or say we are not going to the Eurobond soon and here is it here then because to me the integral portion of exiting the IMF is to free yourself to get access to international market for borrowing. Kabori nyade money. A dinner friend of Bosiano. Nintra se was and the custom say, O kwaje sika every will be ho. Nesika no dia kwaye juma. Ama emfaso abaso. Na faso da ban be dia kwaje sika free no. Obet poni bi ama no. Now so anya bi dia de ho. But successive government, if we say, Busia Yadia kwaje the expansion of the economy, yet be yakon mesikem. Na abe ka na kana pale, na yentimintua, na ve yetimintua no, the only window abufuna creating say, so the kana bro so ubetimi akọ IMF. And yedi akonyamba wo ho saa. And my brother, me kwa madwene dia we were to force Edam Mobejo Bosia. A Cabosia Mobeji this time around. Muma nye Bosia, ye debe type private sector nechi. Akwasi ado dike, ukompeni no, wajuma uyeno. Ma aben hum nese, aban ede, enyeme gua kwa mye hum se, ye supporto nye, ye betima bem, ama akreti jobs, ama mebu nye biaye, especially export driven ventureship. dia ko first ka wa bonten e dia ba wura economy mu what you say now can be say it will attract foreign direct investment me nene nya adwene the time nene nya adwene say foreign direct investment it comes here only to expand the economy but the money doesn't stay here for development about what I said but it is being repatriated with the interest back to the respective countries. Take a champion of blessed memory. No program be dear friend of indigenization, empowering local entrepreneurs to take commanding height of the economy. And the Mexican in Aka to say you Ibrahim over to gold mines. Above no my 10% of my financial. Says Ibrahim, a young organ ha 90% beka 100%. I support fully said Manama Ibrahim. Ghana Nidia or one Kasapa no monia obe be a Juma Fenny Pano or so my money not Tanachi, even sovereign guarantee credit Tanachi. Then would to be beer Beka Champo, beer Mensa, no man yes cigarette. Watch mattress, no money mattress, no mattress in front of one apia men can wear a pino soup. I mean Shanghai, seminar no one will keep coast, co-motors, no car, Tata Brewery, not a natural automata brewery, no, Siam, no ye be our private person. Then I brought for he a younger mama papa, woman a dom who slim, okay, as protocol Angola. Or one would combine harvests and be obeying. A fellow say, or mine made in Ghana, never be a popular. Okay. No be a patronizing made in Ghana. Because the standard net day and Yamano. Now a boy, a champion, I never said that. 7 years. On the yacht, down to my estate, a dental estate. Throughout the whole country, maybe I could be our estate war. The housing program. Then I some to operation feed yourself. Yeah, you do maybe school way. 1 point in secondary school. Yeah. Operation feed yourself. No. Omuwa ya maybe need diama. A big come omu trouble. I catch up for the then president. Say, yani school way. Ya do near diama biaka. Diaka be Jennifer Come school for. We have the capacity. Okay. The competence. But the akane say Ghana Penfone to Abamo. Umbenye GDA wo Ghana for me. The Ghanaian business. So we can do it and do it better. Where are working now? There's what people want more than 90 so Ghana. Yes. Abo fomo dada mo dia adwini dia agro sana ye du machi ne yakone ba. You got to forcing. Boro ni di obekọ iro bond nse mbekọ akọgibi. Enu ti na hesitate. Because who ma untimi nkode sa. But yen channel busia no into ventureship the returns and the dividends no ebeka Ghana ha na that yen sanko IMF ni yen sanko IMF ni bi ngonga pass e beko bi em na ya dia yakọ 17 times sabi o obi a wa record da so be record agina change yakọ 17 times eti what is the guarantee say yen san mess up we dey my shock me pa yakufu at the time yes eti any 2 months no mutimi nya adwuma that is a boni of radwa meboa yes utimi nya when na ye wa kwa me kuma be suo na menemu say black man is capable of managing his own affairs no and na ye gya ye hu nyina ma abrofo no is too bad and we know finally no say ezitia na ezite say yenkobi yen tutu ye yes ana person masa sika so e bi opa producer ekufu ado time I ezite no yes nensa mo kan pese mo bobi meyetie was it never again shall this country go for IMF bailout. Today, we are here discussing it. I don't know for more, sir. Yeah, that's it. Orako say the ODK, yeah, that's it. Then you take no. Or say a young one de bet. Scanners so a bed, no young businessman, young woman. Obi be invest huge. Ewo memo. Minor sikana bekaha. Then say change now a bruni, no baby a company. Bosome so kikiri na or the 90% koye de 10%. They be a royalties. Get where be. Fiambi to Sano might be a number. It is the call by Mami Sofia Ekufu. any IE for.
Yes.
You're mama. Said you reset Ghana when you bring. Yen Sadian who ye. Now your mining extraction companies, no, any 100% Ghanaian holdings.
Okay.
Said Gaddafi, a J.Y. in Libya 100% holding. A man who muska boost, no.
Yeah.
Never be Anna, said your mamma before. About exploit here.
Mate. Set. With the war buying also. And Nra, finance minister, at this Sanchi Yaba. Yanku be man and Cadianes.
IMF ɛyɛ abrabia abanba abankɔ yɛkɔ no ɛtɔda na okoduru mpɛmpɛnso bi a na economy no duru baabi a na uhia ɛmmoa bi a wɔde bɛsɔ wasene mu sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wani suadi hunu a ɛwɔ ɔman no mu no wobɛtumi de ama amanfoɔ na aprepi no sɛ koduru sɛ aban bi ba na ɔkɔ saa ahohiahia no mu na ɔse ɔkɔ a na opposition party asɔre de ayɛ amanyɔsɛm ɛno nti abre du sɛ MPP kɔ no ɛnam amanyɔsɛm a ɔmode IMF ɛyɛ ɛno nti na amane kɔ ayɛ den wobɛhwɛ a this finance minister yɛnu atofoɔ sɛ na opposition ɛhyɛ aseɛ ka kyerɛ ɔmo sɛ mmerɛ du sɛ ɔmo bɛkɔ IMF no atwam but yɛnuanom antie ɛfiri sɛ na nsɛm a ɔmo flag bearer anaasɛ ɔmo candidate Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ɛne ne abedi akyiri ba omia akafa IMF no na enya asempa nanso ewi akyiri no omokoye ene yefiri mu me nia MPP fo ba be kan e wo se nna no pay stress so ne say omeka say yefiri IMF no I'm telling you odopa from Monday eko yenu MPP fo nya akwanya begina simpi so na omeka ne say IMF aye kan yefiri mu if you say other instruments are subscribe to say ye no mo ba be ye kasubum say be ya external economy no e be nya gidie e wo ye local economy no mu no omo de no be ya stick say ye free mu but for what you know IMF ayeko MPP ko no na se bi samre no e ya ho kire na ya dum pempenso bi a Ghana yisika sem ayeden agigya asai ba enne no IMF na ya free mu ene dwumadi ani mu ba bedi no ebe ma kwanya ama amansan dwaso se bi mpraduasa se na ebe ya umbenya gidie se nhihia a uba Ghana ewo ho no se bi mpraduasa edimu se enye no mapapa na yesi ye ya anka unu obi be ko nhihia a o financial statement o be share with the person enti this other instruments are subscribe to no ebe ma amanfo gidie se anamo aye ba betu ewo man we mu no ye nsura kire say no be share your economic information we are very confident say we are doing the right thing minia na say enyina yete gold board hula balu na buha haye ba yeso gold board eboka $225 million in their operational you know ehifafo na ka ho ase anye IMF one be san komo no sha ase because of say omunya Ghana ye economic figures and I say ye economic information mom no de ba out so this is telling you say ye finance minister ne aban we dwumadi aye ba bedi e wo ye economy ho no ye nsura kire say any external person share information we are doing the right thing na ye nsura kire say be ma international market no nya confident we mu say so oba Ghana na ye ka say inflation ye say ya yampa that is the figure we are talking about so oba Ghana na see growth ye say ya that is what we are talking about.
Okay.
And yes, a sovereign nation. Now all the department and now all the organizations share a binary sintino, a binary cooking figures. Minimum or external person at least and also certify the figures. This is where we are getting to. Not that you free IMF and I say you see a free IMF no now you subscribe to another thing and also the other monetary benefit brain and for monetary benefit there and minimum say beya senior finance minister kan ebe ma other people international bodies no nya confident wo Ghana economy mu no be ba be invest wo ha wo say onya the right place or ba be investment
okay
now
yes Ghana near investing so I buy money chidom nen
minia
now intimi invest
minia under this government no minu mienu di ho dance say aban na hyase a all this hanhye na to akwan mu ye hwe so many flashy programs ha ba ya hyase bo mmabunu
say be on medium financially. Yenhwe nia Eric Ajay office NIP. Yenhwe oba ye programs or dia to capital or the youth. Minim mabuna sebi producer based on omu proposals. Ebi mo anya as much as 200,000. Say be omu de be yo mo adwuma. Abra unko tuansi hu bia. Nti aban we build the capacities of the youth. I be boama oman economy grow. And now me know say na no tie say under 24-hour economic policy no. You see ye ba be boa mbabu no mo ready. So omo de omo future e hye omo nsam. No omo so create job ama other people ayen. Ye ba be so omo asin from 500 cities to 500,000. A huge capital in our economic year away. So we need sales cannot dey say oduma mo e be boa. So for all you know no aban we ba ni policies or dey ba no nyina ya ade a eba be liberty ayi ya adwen free say da bia e be chasing white collar job da bia ye be say teachers recruitment no bia nipa be 5,000 adwuma e kwa kofa 500 na nipa be 5,000 dey akire sa de na aban no pese ye rethinking anything dey reset agenda aba say we can create something for ourselves ya so be own CEOs yes we be try your fellow Ghanaians ka na aboa ama yeso ye di uko other countries to say US and maybe among focus say person or defo don't go and be somebody employee be an employer means o create adwuma kono person or billionaire untimi ko ye billionaire bra working mo bi all right until now the government think say we can do something for ourselves ebema ya liberty economically right and abano is ready to support us until na yeso ye beka ache ye ho ye attitude as people say sika bia e dia mana yen tuansi hu bi sa no eya nipa nya sales kana ya na adwe no black man adwe kwa say sika ye free into investment no ani ni pepe wo so di kom na ya enkom sa conversation na wo say sha say dey have it na ye encourage the youth to aban no nya gide wo yimu a all boy ya so yasem no na take sa opportunity no for granted nimum ye be exploit to the benefit of ourselves, to the benefit of the nation at large.
Mate, Seth Cobbins and a friend who ND cinema panope the side of the story and no. Make us say Ivan Che innocent Ivan a youth activist. Bema kwaba. Now we hello body I say. Me say I want say I'm some Brunians na say. And say last week in the other share my name now what to say? Hello body I say. Ivan on this IMF we
yeah, the kind of mention for the mention for a share I say. Now menka say my late kakra because now I was on another way into that. I think say on this IMF way and that's sorry now you say you get it out of IMF. I think say a sign of relief for Obia. And the question is, how did we even get here? Because said earlier, you were saying submission in the 17th time in here. But what's now here the potential of this country in terms of resources, human and natural, and what I would say, dear by next year, manage and we need to go for that sort of assistance. And this assistance and they are caught as a last resort. And very often in Susan and they may short-term relief, but a ban mismanage the only time I will say Ghana for ye very diligent in our spending is when we are under the radar IMF and then we go. That is the problem. So the guarantee this time around it should be that after exit, how do we make sure that we continue? And then I think transition to the PCI and is very, very important because it's not going to be financial assistance but technical assistance because they will be with you, give you certain guidance. Emma won't trip it off because your challenge has always been a trip off.
No, but 17 times, do you still need this PCI? 17 times. No,
PCI. You see, sir, because politics, very often we are overtaken by certain initiative. Sabi. So because we end up taking initiative just for partisan expediency. So the Panama culture said may deal with but the impact but the money will go. So they will guide you against some of these things. But you also political will and commitment on the part of the government whether you heed to such technical advice or not as a phone. But I mean my point has always been so and this you go into that particular line because IMF I call and now President Akufo-Addo pensu and yes you need imagine yes sorry say call IMF yeah call say the ambulance in poppy the it was that we couldn't do anything because at the time you're defaulting on external credit your friend is saying we are yetua internally no DDEP everything was on wayward or the credit rating agencies na obunyina discredited Ghana. There was no way we could go and borrow because of the track record that can be for nko edugu ho. So at the point former president then President Mahama by advising government said they should go to IMF because somewhere all the signs around now the country was not getting even forest forest so only way because we didn't go the commercial space now we were locked out. We went to be to bond and then as a forum. And this money be a big constraint on the part of the government. So the only way able to any access to credit was the IMF option, which also came with the conditions and a whole lot of stuff. So it wasn't because we wanted to go to IMF, because President Akufo-Addo, I can say Ghana is a proud nation. There was no way they would go to IMF. So I told there, you know, Chimu said, never been a never boom by force. You have to go. You understand? So for me, I think there are lessons. And at the time, and someone na Ghana for coming in, wasn't because it be time will be, but because the recklessness was quite clear. The mismanagement was quite clear. You do baby, you make a bubble sending a party, a celebrity. What's in China? Are we really serious? Because if you had a natural resources, I now you make a bubble send by a party or chroma. It means our mind and you need direction. So this time around that. President Mahama Bai, there has been some smooth transition in the economic space. So we had the science before the economic template today. There are certain positive indications. And then I know most of the rating agencies, and I shall say rating Ghana positive. It means that today we can return to the credit space to go and borrow. But it says that we are not going because, and then the thing is that even Kasano, the government can raise bond. That is why I'm told about they are raising a bond of about 7 billion something, almost by 32 something billion. I able raise it from your friends saying, "Young Kasa your space," has say because people you give you amount for opportunity to invest. So they don't know if you go and do that dollar denominated investment now. Sometimes and I'm say currency in stable, you know. But if we bubble na ebeye CD na wan kasa we for no mu invest the musika eto bond na se for no very easy to be able to control and pay. Aban betime raise sika from higher na yemfa emwa ye ho se be your mind betime a position. Then the private sector, just like he mentioned, always has been the engine of the economy. But Aban doesn't have the capacity to employ anybody. Even if you go to America, which is the biggest economy, the private sector employ majority of the people. It means the government at any point in time, the policy direction, policy initiative, you can employ minimum number of people. But if you're able to energize, give them credit assistance, the private sector viable. They will be able to bring in a lot of people, a bit more minor, on. But if access to capital, so far as the private sector is concerned, a challenge. Last month for cannot also access credit facility our banks are a problem. So these are some of the constraints that Biden will have to look at it. Now you make sure. So recently, I saw the bank rate interest rate as a for shall say a drop. Meaning a positive signs are give you that particular leverage for private sector to also take advantage. But I think that we can do more because now Donald Trump echo China. Apart from the executive no DD, you know, private sector investor like Tim Cook, other people, Elon Musk, the engines of the American private sector, or the just to seek investment and then as a foreign. So I think government must also begin to partner some of the big investors in this particular country. When you go out and you travel with them, you give them that exposure. They're able to build connection and credit will come. Because investments in a baby by a veteran, GDP, GDP, no, most of the investment, you know, your friends and foreign companies are MTN. The amount dividends and then more post online. Dividend or making Okromano, we are South African company, no one listed in dollars, no the cop. Vodafone buy we own a certain percentage. I know they're quite a kakrawum, but there are several other big companies in Okroma, they reap everything. The energy sector, the same thing. What I say, so I think that gold in as a forum. And so minus you can never grow. But these people cannot we see to go crowd or the come for on when they are going, they take away your dollar. Then as a for and unfortunately you see build system a force company like MTN or profit leave maybe 50% within Ghana for 5 years. Once the money stays, the economy will grow. Or maybe then they start afresh. At the end of the day, no one buy a launching pad. Man for used to make money. So I think a lot of reforms must come. it's not just because the IMF, no.
All right.
What are the initiative measures they go going forward?
Yeah.
Especially at this time, the economic template seems to be a big good, stable. No, I think we can leverage to build the economy. A bit me abuama the private environment, grow well because as long as the private environment grow, no, and you must have as for the now you go back to the era,
They say 70 years,
Mahama made a promise say we are not going, and it will depend on the investment and the sort of initiative for able to keep going forward. Always it has been reckless spending. And I think it's make it that particular tenor. We can still live within our means.
Innocent, I say. I'm a Sambrini. The honor, yes, or the IMF. I see fully out of it.
First and foremost, I'm chair my constituents for any honorable titles global of the last time we catch us called national organizer. And me generally campaign more, campaign didn't everyone say, or be a next national organizer. But you see, when it comes to IMF, over the years, Ghanaian BRB wishes Ghana be exited from IMF program. That's a fact. But we should also know that it's on record to say NDC and Edia call IMF chamber BR. That is also a fact. So we bet na so kase. We went to this IMF because of government, as in narrowing to the MPP government, as if the MPP government is the first government to take Ghana to IMF. Disingenuous. In 2013-2014, the same President Mama, Edia called IMF. The purpose of it is for policy credibility, because the economy now all running a loose credibility to the extent say no BM per se or be invested. And that time, the only reason why that then affected the economy was that China was facing some kind of economic challenges. China. But yet, when you look at the Western world and America largely, America got through difficulty. It was snowball effect that affected other nations more than China. I'm not discounting saying trade has shifted to China. That even America, say they have to now go and have some kind of also strengthen or relationship and improve our relationship with China. That's a fact. So if you went there for policy credibility, no, because of challenges of global happiness. Yet way, you cannot tell me say there was a country now a country be on in the world that COVID by that country never had any impact. If we also obey FAC the challenge because COVID and they selected and then some of the reasons amount for justify as to why certain things are happening is because Iran, Israel, and America are fighting. This is something that is affecting globally, internationally, yes, affected. But when it comes to some of the things that is having repercussions on us, who take it for instance, the oil land, import here. 20% of the world's imports are Strait of Hormuz. Ghana, you're imported from Strait of Hormuz. That's a fact. So I wouldn't be happy to hear Obi to try to chastise the MPP government, as you say, it was out of sheer recklessness. Merriment, it's not a statement of fact. Uko online now check it will tell you clearly why Ghana went for IMF program. Simply, global happiness. And you see, and then this IMF program, presidency young cohort I really wish say it will be the last for Ghana because subsequent governments, but finally we ended up 17 times. Okay. I don't think any government or cohort, after a year program now, will still go back there. Near SET, for the previous government, ECO in 2023, which is ending in this month of May 2026. So if the government says that on Tuaswa, say or for the PCIs, right? That is fine. Just as Ivan said, the PCI is not monetary in this case. It's kind of some technical support via IMF. So it still tells you, say, you cannot discount the support of IMF because the discipline, and the issue. Okay. Because once we are on our own, then the discipline starts. Mindful of the fact, say, elections Sunday and check. So sometimes these are the times, government is compelled to spend because who go into elections, amount for be demanding for roads, amount for demanding for certain infrastructure development. You are forced to go into it, and then normal politics ankasano comes with its own spending, and that is when normally some of government budget is thrown out of gear. So I will be cautious. Say I'll really be happy because everybody wants to dictate certain norms within the economy, even though no country can be absolute. Say Obeka say, who run no economy 100% without relying on other people, not even the mighty economy like America that is standing on its own.
Discredit how the government handled the economic situation of Brow Beto,
Who say me discredit it? Like me discredit what?
The extent because IMF is you will not qualify say you are out of the IMF. So the prudent economic measures are buying the go and can be.
But what any NDC near what catch you say that IMF policy a previous government call the impact, the positive impact, one say Omodi Abasubama, the former government, they make it seem as if say everything about the policy is negative, as if it has no positive impact. But when anytime IMF is backing your economy, it gives other investors out there and people who want to invest in the economy, knowing that once you are under IMF, you are constrained to be disciplined because IMF will look at your books and you cannot lie to IMF. Government, there are set instances, they told us one thing, only for IMF to come, and then they had to correct it. That was last year. So you see, that is what I'm saying, sir. Me, I will really be happy if we exit IMF. Because certain conditionalities of IMF over the years has not inured to the benefit of my way. Because when they tell you to do say over pama amount for free ejumamu or some cutting size of garment or some cutting certain expenditure. Over say unemployment rise, even though you want to cover some hole, you end up creating another hole in some instances. Because we some of the recruitment over the years many governments have been unable to do because IMF will tell you, say, don't go beyond this physical space. And if you are not going beyond that physical space, and when they are happening under President Mama One, employment went to me and recruiter amount for because of this IMF conditionality. So if we are hesitant, we are going to dictate the pace for ourselves. That is fine, which I agree to it. I wouldn't come and sit and discuss. But as to whether we will not end up mismanaging our own affairs and going back there, that remains the issue.
Right. That's it. Your friend Ibrahim Kamadin, or a communications team member of the NPP. I'm a Sama Bruni and I don't name a tard friend. And I'll pay. We have heard other issues. Your Excellency, we didn't say when the in a minute.
You see, the problem you see when it comes to our economic development, inconsistencies in our economic architecture. Look, manifestos for political parties, edidi o ma we so. Emma o man no enhye enko. Yentimi nya consistency in our development. For example, MPP and NDC, manifesto o presented to the nation. And the content is the same. It is about Baku winning election, of which Dopulin Umana Umana Ekoba. Now, we could do her not the policies, we are just because the political can I say social contract with Ghanaians, and the MPP it will be an for the Yedma could do. I was so just no so started the social contract with Ghanaians. You can say maybe million amount to Abama. We need national policy agenda. Political party bia no the multi-party many young multi-party democracy, it will never help us.
Back on several times.
Eti enka yenya economic policy framework eye dawa parties in na what number draw o manifesto free. It anye ye kra no. One said there will be similarities. Bebe ewo umienu enhihye wo de bem. Ekobasa o man no the ye biaro e kan ko ne eko.
Right.
Enko say one step forward, two steps backwards.
Yeah, I think the quick one. I think we are on TV. Let's set the record straight when it comes to economy and how our ebubu and then as a phone. So we'll go back now. We had the rate at which we were borrowing. That was the reason why the economy crashed, and that was the reason why we were banned from the economic space. It wasn't because COVID came. Prior to COVID, now we have as a World Bank country director, Ababon Saba Kachina Ghana for said the rate at which we were borrowing, your debt ain't yet sustainable. And we needed to take certain interventions. And yes, and the economy, the recklessness was quite apparent. So you cannot just override it again. Oil now, if you know how the prices are set. Ghana, we may not be buying oil directly from Middle East, but we buy from Netherlands, we buy from UK oil. So they equally buy. So it's an indirect trade. And once we have the OPEC country setting up the prices, you have no control over some of these things. So I think these are the reality checks that we need to do.
Abraham Asunina and Open for any man no within Kumuno. Uraquesia de Odike or a founder leader or say United Front Party, say no one party a movement. They say no or say party millennium anti movement. Now I've there be me fee innocent. I said I've Chino Center how a youth activist, of course, and Ibrahim Kamadin, a communication team member of the MPP, Amasama Brain, and then Seth Cobbins were a member of the NDC communications team. Now, Siciano. Last week, Bano, as a name be a course of my MPP 14 Mokaka Okruma, say the Momon Kasa, Okasa, Yacho, and then you do court police station, meaning answer ya remanded a year on Bono Bejna Chairman, Abronia Kwamidisi. Freedom of speech, I can't want some, or the came my friend through, so if you say, Modi, Muhu, Swida buying, why buying a baby sister assembly. Freedom of speech, ne say, Kasa, Bibi, can be at all. And then that's freedom of speech.
Before I answer you, you ready? Idi Amin can say me, or say freedom of speech. I give it to you, but freedom of speech, I cannot guarantee. What I say, and in government, and I say, Emmanuel Simon, you see your finger ends where my nose begins, and you will need to be a whole cancer. I was so share in so at the Baba. When I go upon board, we are seeing an Emma, you know, the Emma that's any baby before you to me and fat Yadrin and Coho. Did it carry a choice? What the man will be a dear Bia will be choose so be the outcome either positive to you or to others, you are responsible for it. And you know, say, we are papa, ye near baby do it. And no one we are born so born, born for the evil that means to lives after them, and goodness and mercy shall follow you. Look, may the one more power, and some are questioning them when they say, mean, say, so be a cassette here will be Anya day. Your coaching harassing near Jan, music prosecution, the alcohol. Not the MPP for can somehow, me no more yakoyadne. Obia money, abonya chinibako. Yeah, Dano, anti prosecution, baby. It ends there. Yes, I continue to say, can why? Yeah, Dano, no prosecution. So many of them be kept causing, but yes, I quite you be kiki near Dano. There's a winning evidence to prosecute her. Why do you go for that? Why do you go and arrest somebody? I don't get it. It's media say must say Obiaka said and the rule of law no criminal label law no is at work. And I say
yes, yeah, paper free.
Yeah, paper free. The patch say you so a my can ya kasa
etia
mpedi you can't it me can you free to speak.
Yeah.
Still, as I want to so we can't say now, yeah. We are liable. We'll be better with walk.
Yeah.
I mean, identify all these people are to you now, but they mean this by means through crown. If I buy 11, 12 them say, Yakoso, when you could be finished, a Koran cycle, yes, ye, but when we are, it ends there.
Okay.
So, what is the rationale behind it?
Okay.
Why should we move into somebody's house to ransack there. You are findings. Dear course, now some Rambo style of arresting people. No, it won't help anybody. I have to say, MPP there this no more. I used to say, you do me, I do you. Okay. And that was Swara. And this in the MPP on. They are much of a matchness. The same template, and when you should a boy man. Okay. It is a way opposition. The oil was there, and Oba no justify. Boba much and go for so they show me. Now it's almost called political point. Which is not good for this country. As an will create enemies for yourself.
How much will be in terms of our casa and Kuyeni Adena, as yet me prosecute Mosana.
And no, yes, sir, much because we can set our civil. Okay. It is the best thing to say, or one of the same command. Then the court process starts. Okay. Now, near the
and for the court process, no.
Pepe milk set Yamia. Meet him, Emma. The mayor said, me lawyer said, Nipa we, Wakasset Yami. Evidence I'm going to say, me record on. It's more court processes. Not the entire cassette Yam, no me. But say, quite to say, you should police any security apparatus to intimidate ya.
And I'm sorry, Dr. Bamia can say there will be a day of accountability.
But Dr. Bamia, I didn't expect him to make such a statement. Do you know why? Say, Omani Mono, MPP4 and extraordinary people. Omunya immune to arrest. Okay. But what I say, ye Timichi Obia. It is a MPP4. Now we are paying with the MPP anymore. The only thing I say, Oba Bwani Pana Yachin say, a company that over fast war. Sir, a chen a chiwon. You benya attention in Yamaho. Bako say about much chiam call for. What it means is a ban for the same way, MPP Nibi, a quiet and Yana.
Because we're MPP.
Well, MPP, you know. And the other Bomia, Bao Babontin as a leader, made the nomination. So, the I was for Babontin, and then making such statement.
Matty said, MPP for the same moment to Mokaka. Now, more opposition, more candy.
In your Jones. Yeah, near MPP for coming. Omo subject to our laws. Omo ba yenhwem na omo de aba efa sa act suban a ekoso anne ye de omo famra mu a omo kasai. Unim say Electronic Communication Act omo na de ba. National Security Act ni nyina no omo na de ba. Di ntia na omo de samra no ba. Ye hyemra abra suban bi wo ho a ye pese ye kateli na ehwe ma yenya ya sumwie. Enu ntia ye hyemra. Nia MPP for kanu nyina no omuntimi enka se nia abronye ye no entiamra
omose mu ye bi
oh ye bi e na omo ye den me no conversation we aba no me pese ye free political equalization na ye hwe issues no as they are now Ghana mra ye wo nyina no e wo ho se ba be boy ho ban se be ya ibenya ya sumbi e wo oman we mu
okay
until now ye wo article 21 Article 21 of the 1992 Constitution, actually say your freedom of speech and expression. And it will be expressing his view, and answer or kasa. Ghana mrano born home by so bit my expressing his view. Notwithstanding, Article 164 no. As we catch and say, so be express your view, and obe kasa. And was say responsive. And was also nya sebi obuo ema man for right. Sebe ya sebi kasa o kano. Enko gu obi hu fi. But the ancient Yenu Abronye. Yenu Abronye Gina Simpiesu, etimi kasa kire ekatia a sitting judge. Eka say onye judge, and now onye judge. Memum oye politician. And now they bottle akata uti from one judge. Yen share issue we. Sesa issue we no. Yen fanto to emra emma kwine. Say under Article 21 so etimi kasa. Nen just oppose Article 164. Say asamo kan no.
Irresponsive.
Responsive. Asamo kan no engu obi hu fi now what me criticize obi judgment but what me criticize nipa no persona judge no judge so pass judgment na on issues of law na o hwe asem na o maaye no na judgment na o maaye no na o hwe se ene mra bi anko yi a what me criticize that asem on issues of law and I mean say enu abronye se bi onye lawyer mpa wako law school onimu sunsanso e was asem yo
okay
ye nyina ebedu ba bi ye discuss ye even a judge on this same abronye issue a ye no call court and now pass judgment ni orbiter o ma in law ye kasa ade bi ye orbiter ye ratio no o say o ma judgment a we na ye mra ugina so as ratio aye na mom as I judge no uso wo ho kwan say ugo uma other commentary ye friend orbiter MPP for be gina asema ye orbiter o man commentary enye the law
judgment
and no enye judgment no mom out of orbiter na say expression dia o man judgment bi o ye no omo de no gina so e ka say judge no ne judgment o di atentene no di bu abronye no na enye atentene ne ba me no mi no say be producer ya call law school da no ye nim say judge for sa liberty no say na teacher for so say omo academic freedom so omo so ye omo but ye gina sa say mo so enunu judge bi e kasetia no e wo man we mu but ya ntwi obi a wabo so because the judgment o man no e na ye criticize but this time round ye nua bronye we misuse the freedom of speech ama na trash ye enti so freedom of speech no e trash ya enu je wo ye criminal code act 29 wo ho no uko section 207 ni section 208 ni nyina kasa kire yen say e wo say ye kasa ana say upon your freedom I own nyina no we should be very responsive bronye anye sa but ordinary person bia ya enye me nwanwa ana enye me ya
tse sen camera ho nti no nipa no de waka say tia no betimi a check in on by also going to court no be see no na afi akomre
je oba Ghana your normal minu ida so obi bekwa ko ma report na wa say oath on criminal ya obe say oath na ya taking on e court and now say your prosecution and police for any attorney general na ehwe enti say obi ya ade na ebe ha oman na sumbi ana ya ade a etia obi fa ho dia police for ho kwan say omere invite ni pa na no me arrest no ma prosecute no na me papa odike ka say bi producer ye chi ni pa na ye gya no ye nim kra bronye ya convict no da on similar issue as our judgment na e ba no e na me ka ho judgment am for conviction no a day say even your pronouncement say kodam wande na tieska no cry conviction
you didn't call remind you nya ni na say dem
and right now we dey remand
now no dey no ye ka me ka other judgment na o say me become judgment bi a o ma orbiter ye dey be ya asem kan organ ha sa issue na me ka say ya friend o honda and now no asem na ye ken ye mo be reminder na che say ye nwie judgment no ye nwie assembly no but sa remind ye ba ye no actually before be remind you na ye hwe udimi na usumi o ban
okay
say after say ye wo court a ye di wa asem no ye free court no suba be na wada na di ye mbisa ho say abronye ni personal TV station na wo no after say ye asase mu ya ye
di kan kwa obetas be mu no
ba mu no ni we no ni behavior et say and the issue of punishment ye punish wa say be nya ni je so na ye punish nipa na mom sa punishment no ebe mo nya adwensa kire di na sa adwensa kire na obenya ebe sakira wa ankasa but
boy your friend say adenta kumi mo chiri me bi asise
nti u follow case no ya arrest obi a prosecution and your papa knows can or say the wheel of justice
grants ruling
that just into the mere fact say no say muslim say Ghana no news no ba na invite ni pa no beginning na no obi ani di akire no processes na court proceedings na ko obi ani di akire bi
say that's all court
but what I'm saying is say in America no say me papa odike
but justice delayed justice denied
okay ni nyina ye
ni America no say tini
yanko na me
ni ma me forma no si ni America ni nia MPP for ne ye papa ba omia enya the gas so ba be gina simpi so na wa twere letter tententen aka say Ghana ye democracy ene ye freedom of speech no Ghana ye mfa nya adwuma bi no okasa oboa if you say so oba Ghana ye democracy so o ka democracy a your institutions and now your factors are here say democracy here me ba mo say me ono na eka enti many issues on aka no na ye just pose na make sure say democracy or can say democracy here adwuma no ye mbisa ho say court no na ye chi abronye no ye no ko say military barracks ye fa no ko say military barracks ne gba no ma court ye adwuma na che say ampa democracy ye adwuma na ye ko chi no so ye chi no on issues
on issues Amazon Bruni arrest no it was on based on issues
let me put it on record say NDCP they should do their worst because say you win power, nyomuye will do 8,000 folds to them. Omu for bill condition called $1 billion. Yeah, but just omu pay $10 billion ever. So whatever they are doing, they are just laying a good precedent that will come and implement same to them. And just as among Dean, National Peace Council, Ghana Journalists Association, other groups are Dean, Obi Dean. And when no Bia so Dean. Oteha, or see any electronic then law be about that kind of yeah, soon I criminal libel law by. I don't know they won't make a reference to it. But is it the first time you accuse the judge, Anna? Is it the first time in this country? No. No accuse your friend saying a High Court judge, Reverend Joseph Ajiman, of being biased because or see the order Electoral Commission to recollect results in 9 disputed constituencies. Mu accusing of being biased. Oman Penina Nkasa. Every whole Supreme Court judges as unanimous FC.
By your criticisms and then insult. Where do you, because
Abronya say
I can't say me a bias based on maybe a panel am setting. Fine, you can criticize, but can you directly insult a judge? I will not say I just say Ebia or the Sambotona action when you judge when I win or no say Nipani judge.
If Sauka say who has say judge be a politically aligned a insulter. Calling a whole Supreme Court judges as unanimous FC say omu decision be actually omu ndwin omu decide say yen nyina yanko ka say zombie like that and then insult a compliment right yeti oman we mu ene mu chichi nkrofo anka by this time say sa na anka by this anka Sam George nu we anka mo dem Sam George at me first sitting president say he's behaving like over pampered kid o kan ye ko da fie obi anko che no. And then you the signboard crack eto ho. Now see Dumso is back. Then you criminalize speech. Me say the omuntu asunye. Nemu enu bedru. Power is transcend. Unim. Me can accept of a letter B. And I want you to guess any power trust a letter no. I just want you to have a good guess. Dear President Nanado, I am appalled at the growing criminalization of speech and journalism in Ghana under your watch in this 21st century. There have also been several disturbing incidents of harassment of journalists in the line of duty. We have witnessed media establishments close down on your instructions despite many appeals to you. Now, in a space of less than 2 weeks, 4 people have suffered police action, criminalizing their rights to free speech. As Attorney General at the time, who led the repeal of the criminal libel law in order that citizens could freely express their views, it is unconscionable to be suppressing the rights and criminalizing the speech of citizens and journalists. It is even more worrying when the power of the state is used as a salient tool in this intimidating endeavor. Radio and TV presenter Captain Smart was dragged from court, and although he had been granted bail, sent into detention, another radio presenter, Ohineba Buama Benny, has been incarcerated for statement he allegedly made. A civil society activist who was arrested, detained and sent to court on criminal charges, granted bail and yet detained again for making a statement against you, President Akufo-Addo. As if to suggest insincerity behind the serious decriminalization of speech that you led, another radio presenter, Bobby Ansah, has been arrested, detained and charged, criminalized for speaking and making allegations against your wife. President Akufo-Addo, you cannot continue to oppress the people, criminalize speech when these matters are essentially civil in nature. You see, let me take that one again. President Akufo-Addo, you cannot continue to oppress the people, criminalize speech when these matters are essentially civil in nature if you feel offended by them. All the things I've listed, independent air catcher say these are all civil in nature. Okay. I'm just about wrapping up. It is even more sad that the Journalists Association and its senior members, many of our clergy and other moral leaders, scared because the oppressive and dictatorial regime you are running have remained quiet in the face of this disturbing development in our maturing democracy. This is a dangerous blueprint you are fashioning for our dear nation, and it must not be encouraged. Your actions as president have totally discredited your self-acquired accolade as a human rights lawyer and activist. Ghana has long emerged from the unfortunate past where journalists were cowed by incarceration and brutalization.
I fear that if you do not take immediate action to arrest this unfortunate trend, when you exit the high office of president in January 2025, freedom of speech and free media will certainly not be counted as part of the legacy you leave behind. Guess who wrote this? Just guess. Have a good guess. Who wrote this?
What kind of my?
Any of you can have a good guess.
We the previous administration and the current president, John Dramani Mahama.
There is a friend is in your
I just want all of you on this table to take a good guess as who wrote this.
At that time, we
didn't try.
We were in power. At that time, we sent us if I
I only read an excerpt and I said, guess who wrote it?
The president, John Dramani.
No, NDC ewo position eno mo complain me fi say Sam George which matro
and yes Sam George President Mama kasa natural letter
so
President Mama Nyamaka na tell me what has changed under his reign.
Okay, this time how did you
I only actually I won't let you dictate. I'm saying sir, everything I've read here, tell me what has changed under President Mama. They are arresting people. This criminalizing speech. Has President Mama uttered one word to say that Nyamuye nyina ni adenta kumyaye ne Obama aye ne fanti comedy aye nyina ye civil in nature. Nyabronya aye civil in nature. Therefore just invite them.
Section 2.
No, but he himself wrote it. It's not about you section. It's about what the president listed and said they are all civil in nature. It is not about what you are saying. It is about civil in nature. It is civil in nature. So how come under President Mama, who saw things that were civil in nature, suddenly becomes criminalized under the reign? And what has he said differently? People arrested in less than 2 weeks. How many people have been arrested? In less than 2 weeks. Look, it's right up a prophetic, and it's unfolding under his reign, and it is very disappointing. Say this letter, or copy to the your friends, diplomatic community. He did this. Today, we should have seen something different, because you see, the funniest aspect of NDC is say they promise reset, then they are quick to refer. If reset is referral, it is the most bogus agenda anybody hoodwink Ghanaians to win power. So we reset say we ye chairman for who say civil in nature, and the Mankasa even take their own manifesto under your friends restoring what's the name? Restoring good governance and fighting corruption. Okay, point 11. Or see, repeal all anti-press freedom laws, reverse the current climate of fear, intimidation, harassment, and safety, and broaden the frontiers of media freedom and development. Are we still not in the state of fear? And then Mitihana said, Mikasa, I'm not guaranteed that the NDC government of President John Mahama will allow me walk home free and sleep. Just as President Nanado, whom you demonize, who criticize, Sam George spoke freely, a black one. In fact, Felix Kwacho for Sukra, a diagnosis, a kind of health issue to the extent say sitting president or denigrating or cancer. Half issue of president, and so president is still surviving.
Me that say, your friend come out, Dean, or your NPPD mapa. Come on, me that say, your friend say, Ivan.
Yeah. My main cassette. See, in any democracy, I discourse and I acquire him. So we are not bound to agree. You understand? The differences in opinion, no. And let me build the kind of way, you hear everything my acquire him. As a mind, the pana cancer, I want to but maybe the other side of it, where it can shape your policy direction or alternative. So, as a believer of democracy, I'm always for you saw some of these open debate on national issues known as a forum, and the Constitution guarantees that. But there are also limitations. The mere fact that people are free to speak doesn't mean that also to make a to endanger national security and say be no we must be measured in the answer for me. Yes, if you look at the current arrests, some are very unnecessary. For instance, I don't know why. You see, because if you're not careful, you use state machinery and security machinery, highlighting individuals who don't even deserve the publicity you give it to them. Okay. Or some of these things, some of these guys, they see themselves as martyrs. So when they arrest them and they are all over the place, they think they are heroes. You understand? Yeah. And there is this people in the shadows that are also behind them. For instance, when Abrante we got to TikTok or say playing the coffee in the car, no one can President Mahama, yes, fancy comedy. The next day, Dr. Baumia was in his house. you'll be energized and people will feel motivated to do some of these things. You understand? So some of these things, we really need to be very, very careful going about it. And then aside that, among the issue now, the guy did not target the judiciary because over the years, you look at the rate of judiciary in the corner, you look at it in entirety and say no. Your judiciary is sinking. We need to do something to protect the integrity of the judiciary. And yes, sir, on my way, but to single out an individual, insult him, tell him, say, tell out hono, wakwajisika, or you're biased because or you're affiliated to a political party. You are not attacking the judge. You are attacking authority that has been given to him to give a man for prosecution. Because the judge, he's not giving prosecution based on the personal authority. It's the state power. So that attack directly is on the state power and attaches the soul of the security architecture of this country. Maybe a security, I overlook some of these things. But no, be overlook. What I say. So yes, in as much as we can condemn some of the arrests, we cannot sit here and play naive or very ignorant about the gravity of some of these things these guys are doing. We must first condemn first. That is why I'm so much disappointed in Dr. Bawumia when he wrote that love letter that he issued. Because in the last 8 years, Bawumia was not in China. He was in Ghana. And you see, people within the middle can sit here and say and condemn. Mr. Odike can sit here and say, oh, NDC for Bawumu din semunu, MPP din semunu. But Bawumia, who was the deputy president of the Republic of Ghana under Akufo-Addo, under him, individuals fled from this country. Journalists, people were, Ameswani was killed under the same climate. Anas used to be very respected person. They destroyed the entire Anas and everything. So people coming from that arena, you have no moral credibility to be talking about some of these things.
No, but say a back court umpona court in nature no. A lawyer for court crano. Now upeso exchange here. A word and say any filthy word to Indian a lawyer. You refer say no, you are you are even talking to the court, so you have to.
That level is not
so
a judge.
A judge giving a judgment, maybe I will say judge no a bastardizing in a way now can the authority no.
It's the state.
And only a state no. Yes. We have to protect that.
Yes, so I think I just had the state authority no. So the security will definitely move in to protect some of these things. For instance, the Okop Tro doing so much, it was unnecessary. Some of these things because you also give people leverage to be doing so, saying the things that they are saying. But I'm saying that Bawumia should have first condemned the act.
Okay.
That is what, as a leader, that's what you do. Then from there you move on because one condemn it now. The love letter back, you are first of all you lack credibility because you are overlooking what happened under your era. Under Bawumia as a vice president, people were not even being arrested. Though. People were being kidnapped. Bongo ideas, a young man who went to TikTok to say, "Papa, yeah, there, I'm not kidnapping, but see there, you wouldn't be kidnapping." Abraham, Mammy are not airport here, so one national security guy back could play to a jana. Or bar Mammy Penina in her 40 or 50, no, Yako kidnapping. No. These things happen. You never heard any condemnation from Dr. Bawumia. And today, if you come out to speak, some of the issues you may say may be legitimate in the face of whatever that has happened. But the thing is, do you have the moral credibility to be doing some of these things? You understand? So for me, I think we need to activate a discourse. Our politics now, you see, you can't rely on those old narrative. You can't say will have sympathy, and some politics of sympathy. Then you need to win election on your strength. Tell people what you're going to do. You think castigating some of these, your friends saying artificial allegations will be climate of intimidation, whatever. I think we must be guided. Now you're making sure say activated discourse. Now when your opposition is not political party power, making sure say your communication and the sort of policies in as far about I don't know person rather than hyping. Oh, what time be there?
Time no so the nebi umpa.
No. 2 minutes cry nyama.
Last 2 minutes be the baby. Why? Most link 10 better than buy. Yeah, I caught 25 too. I think they appreciated that. Now, you be call last 2 minutes no. But with this issue, meaning the will be able for be in it is okay. Detention of Asante Achim head of MP or Amsterdam. Paras ya be. So no Mrashibidani wa kudi embrite ya train on these issues name. Ama sama bruni amu ya album ya mu ye honto kwa ya do so tawo. Esi botu na ye demo koko ni ade. Chairman here the vice chairman here building the casa. There be ho aden ho kan. Mate, yeah for last 2 minutes as rebata or maybe in addition of Nema Mabosu. Bruni has in
no problem. About the power, they also on Casa first. Me man say Quenya, no Casa. Me opposition, me opposition.
Oliga Yanko.
To be honest with you, the way Ghana, yeah, man yourself. Media, my can times with that number say democracy and box on to my maybe democracy a template could be a tyranny there to suit the traditions, the culture, the mindset, and the way of life of the people. Ghana, especially, sorry, our governance architecture. Now here, the behavior of these 2 major political parties, the duopoly, alternative governance, be seen there. Look, a day your mama cast already set Ghana. No opposition. No matter say the old order must give way to a paradigm shift of how we do things. But say acquire political equalization, juxtapose one.
You do me, I do you.
It's say a pamda danamunianam. Say you about me bekasai. You mama can be. You about me. Acquire was the base, your friend say.
The base.
Bunsu,
Utibunsu.
Oh, now you come to dying. Well, the housing deficit in this country. Under your watch, wife for person first lady, at me the infantry.
But I know you're caught me about I know you're court ruling.
Madam,
Your Excellency, you need because you say a court ruling a buy. But what can say about me and a ma you don't have that.
Massa,
respectfully.
May any allegation I may. So Tibon so akasa asem say but me ayire na edem la hye de sema ebubuye na besi na wantima taking no honor yes silence means consent
Otibon so na kasa
also Otibon so na kan what
as TVXY that you need evidence to this effect so
me disassociate me kra no say Otibon so ebo am so meboa
okay
because if it's or yes allegation be seen there ye ntere ye wa mama kugina akosombo when the NDC lawyers ekushai or say MPP for packing Supreme Court with their aligned judges to also ba one way now ya the more could be without we moving just only party near Nuna direction the gun acquire personal interest.
Okay.
Parochial interest and their personal aggrandizement. Ghana who go some people in this will be it's a lie. And some your boba and some that are not Nekoba na unfold. And one year can was Obiaka and be papa be every moment.
Yes, I think that other issues no ba say na. And I'm say yeah political, yeah political discussion here. Now police for no one medal among so yes I name away no more they are out of the discussion for
because be ankono so as office and for boom
exactly because the same machinery now using here under MPP is the same machinery that is in operation today. You understand? So we need to move beyond this equalization. Now because I know what I'm saying Dr. Baumia any moral or justification to be saying things that because he's as guilty as whatever guilt he thinks the NDC government is guilty of. What I say. So I think we need to move beyond that and begin to look at state institutions how I also reform ama man for who the limit what they should do and the any say yeah because obi I can't say na you that's why who go pick up na dey to na say can that is reasonable.
But one of our MPs yeah soon more Amsterdam.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate, and I just hope say enquire the because a number of allegations and I'm for true, and I keep telling people so whenever FBI is involved in some of these things, in your child's play because FBI they don't just move in. Okay. They can take 10 years to investigate you. Okay. So by the time they move in, when said they have the soul. That is why Nippon or Mabel from Africa, all of them being horse and back again. They will make sure say you take a fall for whatever that you did. I just pray. And the political life has been very beautiful, but before the political life, and teachers as a mind soon going forward, you know. Yes, I shall see beginning to interrogate some of these things because Hannah will be better parliamentary slot the cotton cocaine, Mamuko Jelino, and one fire and kind. Yes. And so we be tossing and so quiet for fraud. Then I said you go so you go and he travel on diplomatic passport and as for Bassa. Next I wish one thing. Now diplomatic passport. So I think there I concern at this point, you know, mere allegation, nothing has come up. I like the gentleman quite often or in the politics, and I only hope, sir, Nema, of course, it will not turn out to be true. By quite no credit, I think it to be very important.
Set tempo.
Oh,
can say
so wakasa.
In 2 minutes.
Frankly speaking, and who separate facts are, but no say maybe a chairman. Say kase ye chairman for na ye the fourth arm of government na aban bi attack you. Say media mono ye neutral mo hwe se amambu be ko se na ese no na aban bi echesu. But enne amanfo a won beti say achi bia ye obi a wa ne ho political person na ono de wo se onfa buo ene ani die emamra na onya ne kon na bi ko gina na otena na nsema ensem fata na obeka akire mpanimfo ena ne emra ene ne di enti enne ye papa ba omia entimi ko gina simpie so entwere krata bia emfa nko ba bia se bi mpadu esa or criticize bibi because as of man we mu no ya mana kwanya na any kind of innovation ideas or what or the correct democracy no oba no as the chair of the police council na that time a police for akwachi nkofo a yem form nkokọ tumpo yem bisa say nkofo ya yenu avan ebom I didn't want to go there obom di yem bisa mo say do do send dey omko court but now me no kase abronye when detaining no enye court what is say police for per Ghana mra say wontimi nkochi obi and detaining more than 48 hours. What is say you did not call police custody over 48 hours. And you mra need the judiciary and any nadi. And the asema aba ye kano. The fact is are different. And the MPP no mono any way for money media for muna omoni mo by ne abai we anase emra we no any sebin crofo mo se omo de omo fo bu emamra asante achim MP minka kakra minua ene enye me pacho o ma minga gaga
2 minutes yanko
na me kan say unu say onye enye politics ba ye nuanom oko social media person mo ye politics say no ko oni NDC for na business or NDC ni it is not about nipa no so NDC no MPP it is about the nation say okwa oye hwan e wa mansan dwaso
Bruni Ampo
you see Ivan a youth activist so I expect say so kasa on representing youths in the comment.
My friend, don't sit here and tell me
more than no, but you are here as a youth activist.
But you don't tell me no.
So disruptive or disruptive.
You don't tell me what.
No, but it's a youth activist. It's a planting to waste my 2 minutes. It's a planting. It's a planting. No, but you are a youth activist.
And I'm not a youth activist. Don't tell me what I say.
No, but I'm saying that
you do not tell me what I say.
So me 2 minutes. No,
it doesn't matter.
Me 2 minutes. So you. Okay, every youth activist, I'm gonna no problem. I withdraw. So let me spend my 2 minutes.
Okay.
No. I withdraw. I've mentioned your name.
Okay. So finally,
activists must represent youth when the person sits on TV. Now, under President Mahama 2016, King George Abanga in 2016, Peace FM correspondent in Goso Yakuno. The same under President Mama. Portia Ama Eje what but this is unfair. This is bias. This is unfair.
Abranas Meba Abranas but your time now so time no so sorry for that. Why? Yapon. Why?
I'm the only person here. You give me equal time. I want to talk. He eats into my time.
He eats into my time.
Kafra, sorry for that. Yapon. Why?
He's the only
but
when has Ivan ever spoken for the NPP?
I think Ghana is
oh wait, and now he's youth activist. You are now coming back to youth activist. Youth activist now say
Ivan innocent. Ivan ever come home. Samson Amasama Bruni so be kind who ever had no pay and I feel set Cobbins for ND cinema park. Medinia Joe Swans Abrana so Yami Adma Eduarda Kosifiada. Ya in Siano Pando Siakus Senun the ball radio XYZ. Nani sleep on one year fact once and do medium. And so into him now special engagement ever because Yami Aduma driving the MCE Anabo Inis Ansu Obechia na Yinran oh this is very bad. Let me wrap up about you. Why? Nti yapon name Nyame Adma da Senebesia e bono nwotwe kosi se nundu be boy share na efa abra na adwumade no so emra as usual fa chen to da bia interruption e be ha adwune kakra nti ene de no ye de besia Nyame Adma next week ye besia na afa de aka na yapon